Oliver Twist, Author and History Report by Ben Ayres and Joshua Berline. Background of Charles Dickens. Dickens was born in 1822. Shortly after, his father drove his family into debt, and Dickens was forced at age 12 to work in a boot-blacking factory. It was during this time at the boot-blacking factory that he grew a hatred towards the social system. In 1834, Dickens became a writer and a premier journalist for the Morning Chronicle, and was soon known as one of the best reporters. Dickens later married Catherine Hogarth, the daughter of a successful newspaper editor, and together with Hogarth, Dickens had 10 children. In 1838, Dickens published Oliver Twist. On June 8, 1870, Dickens passed away. Historical context of Oliver Twist. There are terrible conditions for the poor, and these include, but are not limited to, poverty, overcrowding, religious belief that misfortune exists as punishment, so the poor are blamed for their own problems, the London smog, which was ash floating through the air, there was no representation or right to vote. The Poor Law of 1834. This law stated that unemployment people were to be sent to workhouses for terrible wages. This was seen by the poor as a loss of freedoms. The People's Charter. The People's Charter were a list of acts and rights that were promised to the poor people, but of course all of them were ignored. The People's Charter stated that the people would have universal suffrage, secret voting, no property qualifications for the members of Parliament, salary for the members of Parliament, equal electoral districts and annual elections. The poor working conditions were also addressed. Women and older children worked as putters, crawling on all four, dragging trucks of coal. These poor working conditions were child labor, dangerous machines, bad wages. Disease epidemic due to lack of sanitation and clean water. Diseases were rampant, and these include rickets, typhoid, typhus, tuberculosis, diphtheria, and severe cholera epidemics. Some major works by Dickens include A Tale of Two Cities, Great Expectations, David Copperfield, Hard Times, Oliver Twist, and A Christmas Carol. Some of the themes addressed in Oliver Twist are the good and evil. Good and evil. Oliver suffers from many hardships and even gets kicked for being poor, and despite all these atrocities, he manages to keep up hope. The alienation. The characters in the novel are isolated and separate from one another. The satire of the poor law in England. Oliver is thrown into a workhouse at a very young age and forced to work ridiculous hours. The literary criticism. Oliver Twist is notable for its emphasis on the struggle to survive and its presentation of the poor laws.